the best student of the year. Very few schools or no schools, to my knowledge, has an award for the most improved student of the year. Okay? So management of failure is something that we need to teach as a way of life. That's the point that you've been very nicely making, which is what the whole issue is. That yes, there is a lot to learn from one's actions, not to repeat. You know, I make one mistake, it's learning. I make the same mistake at second time, I'm an idiot. Okay? So all those apart, there is still an element of randomness, there is still an element of luck. That's why even Napoleon said, give me a general who's lucky. I don't care a damn about how smart he is. Give me a general who's lucky. So obviously luck plays a role, but basically we have to learn to manage failure as a part of growing up. We, you know, kids playing blue whale today is part of their depression. You know, they're not really trained to come out of the depression, take life by both hands and, you know, deal with it. And I think that has to start with education, that it's not only about celebrating success, it's also about managing failures, which is more an integral part of life than just celebrating success.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah, sure. I just want to add one last thing to this here. One last moment I think want to add. See, the randomness, the point I was trying to make is, I think if you look at art versus science, I think success is an art because of the randomness. But failure is a science because it is possible for all of us to fail at what we want to do, right? I mean, it's very easy to fail. If I wanted to play cricket well, all I have to do is not turn up at practice. I would fail. But if I go every day and practice and play well, I may still not succeed. So failure is a science, but success is an art.
So, you know, I think we would have liked to have some more discussion, but I've got timeouts from various people. It appears that I have failed to manage the session very well, but for a good cause. You know, I think we have to interact with them outside. But I just want to stop by just one prerogative of the chair, just to kind of make one quick comment. I think it's important to note that success, we should study and so on, all that is fine, but I think it's easier to be successful and harder to stay on being successful. So many organizations fail after they succeed. In other words, you know, the initial, you know, drive and success and all of that is fine. That is easier to achieve. Then it's far more difficult to maintain that level of performance. So we probably also need to look at that. And the last point I want to leave you with is, if you leave the corporate, look at governments, they're a category of organizations. There's nothing to do with any particular party or department. But they're a category of organizations you might call as permanently failing organizations. You might also want to study why that happens. And on that note, thank you very much for your time and for your attention.